Hey everyone, my name's Andy, channel's Finding Value. I'm going to answer a question here. The question is, what is your take on the argument that declining oil reserves and the scarily increasing cost of energy to extract oil going forward, scary looking graphs for this, will make oil too expensive to find to what people are willing to pay? And the argument that high oil prices kills the whole economy since the economy runs on cheap oil. And if there's no cheap oil in the economy dies, and the need for oil dies with the economy. Well, I'll speak in general. The economy doesn't run off of the cost of things. And this is going to go counter. I know, I get it. The economy actually runs off of energy. And you have to have plentiful energy for an economy to grow. And if your energy gets expensive, everything's going to wipe out that you don't need. You're just going to say, I don't need this. And then you start eliminating all of the things that you don't need in your life. A pool table, gone. A second refrigerator, gone. Bitcoin that is going to be extremely expensive to operate if electricity prices go way up. Gone. So what becomes valuable are the things that have value to society. The things that are above ground that are useful and valuable to humans. That would be any mineral that provides great value, like silver, platinum. Gold has good value. It's used as money. If you have it out of the ground, it's even more valuable. If it's stuck in the ground and it requires a lot of energy to get that mineral, it's going to be very hard to get. And guess what? If that mineral is in the ground and it has a lot of value to society, it is going to be priced very expensive. And one of the things that I have thought over many years, this is 10, 15 years ago, when I first started investing, is what happens if energy gets a lot more expensive? And we are at that inflection point where I think energy is going to get a lot more expensive. And the reason it's going to get more expensive is because when you look at energy return on energy invested, which means that, I'll just give you an example. If I'm going to go run and get something like a rabbit, and I'm going to eat a rabbit, I need more energy from the rabbit when I eat it than what I expended to get it. Now, if it takes more energy for me to get that rabbit than the rabbit gives me, I would cease to exist. If that was the only thing I could eat. So you have to be very, very smart with your energy if whatever you're getting doesn't have much energy. When we go on the energy return path, solar and wind are they're not energy dense items. Fossil fuels are the most energy dense. They're the highest returns of energy known to man at the moment. Uranium is very high, natural gas is very high, oil is very high, and coal is very high. Solar and wind are very low, very, very low. And in order for those to work, you're going to have to also change your infrastructure. You're going to have to change all of these things, which are very energy intensive. You have to mine all this stuff to get the materials to do it. You have to mine all this stuff to make the batteries. You have to mine all this stuff to get wind turbines and the bases and the blades and all this stuff manufactured. And oil, you take it out of the ground, you refine it, and you have this nice storage. It's already self-contained, it's not volatile, it's stored, and it's super energy dense. It's very cheap to store as well. That all changes with what we're trying to do. And in order to get where they want to go, with renewables and all these other things, you're going to expend a lot of fossil fuels, a lot. Your carbon emissions are going to go through the roof. So we're going to take the highest quality energy sources and expend them on garbage in relationship. And it's all because we want to save carbon, but we have to expend a whole bunch of carbon in order to save carbon. And maybe that break-even point never happens. I don't know if people are doing the math here. So, not only that, we're going to destroy the environment potentially and suck up a lot of room to do it. What I would propose is that we have to figure out solutions. Solutions for a higher energy density source of energy. It's that simple. When you move up the energy dense source, we went from burning wood and some sort of anything that we could find that we could burn, we would burn. Then we moved to coal. Then we moved to other things over time, or whale blubber, or whatever it was. We moved up the energy density. The energy return on energy invested went up. Now, if we're using these very high energy dense sources right now, like oil, where we expend a barrel or two and we get 100 back, those are running out. We're going after lower and lower oil grades or sources, which are very hard to get, hard to extract, and we don't get much in return. Over time, what happens is you're going to see the economy slow down. You're going to see currencies start to collapse because it's all predicated off of growth. And when you don't have that growth, because energy is what backs everything, not costs. Costs don't mean anything. Energy means everything. You need energy at ever greater quantities to grow your wealth, to grow your GDP, to grow whatever the heck you're going to manufacture. So when oil gets scarce, it's our highest energy dense source. I think we're going to have problems. That's what I think. I don't know how it's going to manifest itself. I don't know how. I think currencies will collapse. I think humankind's going to, we're going to struggle. We're going to struggle. And maybe we can pull ourselves out of it, putting a whole bunch of nuclear in, but we got to figure out ways to get way more. See, the problem is you can't get more efficient. You can't get you can't be how can I say this? The more efficient you are, the cheaper something gets, the more people use it. The more people use it, the more the demand goes up, and you get in this vicious cycle where you either loan money out to grow something, and eventually everything just grows until it consumes everything. I mean, it's basically a bacteria. We're bacteria. We'll grow until we basically run out of our energy source. That's what's going to happen. That's at least how I view it. Until we find another energy source. I mean, that's all we do is just gather energy. That's all it is. We gather it from some source. We gather it from the sunlight. We gather it from wind, which is basically sunlight. It's different pressure differences around the earth based off of, I think, the sun. I think that's how it works. You get the sun uneven heating or whatnot. It heats this thing down, creates pressure differences, and then pressure moves and creates wind. I think I haven't really looked into it. That's kind of how I've always thought of it. Or we gather it from dead fossil fuels, I guess. So hopefully it doesn't run out in my lifetime, but I think it will. So it's energy related. And if you don't have energy, you can't grow wealth. If you can't grow wealth, all currencies are done. And growing food, all that stuff, it's going to be rough. So let me know what you think. Put in the comments section what you guys think. Love to hear your opinions, but that's my opinion on it. Thanks for leaving the comment. Appreciate it. And thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.